Alright, this video is about my gear for my upcoming trip across Canada. I just bought my plane ticket yesterday to Vancouver, and I fly out tomorrow. And it's late tonight, and I was about to pack up the bike, but I thought I'd show you the gear that I was going to take. Only have 30 to 40 days to cross Canada, so I may have to average 100 miles a day. So I'm not real sure I can do it, but I'll give it a try. If you look on the map behind me, those two red lines, in North America, those I've thru-hiked the Pacific Crest Trail and the Appalachian Trail. So I've always wanted to kind of connect those two lines. So I've walked from Mexico to Canada, and I kind of finished near Vancouver. So I wanted to start in Vancouver and then come over to the East Coast. I'll be riding in July. I pretty much just have the month of July. I may have a few extra days at the end just to see how I do. But I was just going to give you a quick rundown. If you want a more thorough detail of the gear I take, you can watch. Before I headed over to Ecuador to bicycle to Chile, I showed you the gear I took. That was a more of a all-season gear type thing. So on this video, I thought I would show you some of the things that I'm getting rid of since it's in Canada. I believe it to be more developed, so I'm going to leave some things behind. And since it's more of a summer ride, nicer weather. So some of the things I took on the last trip that I'm not going to take is a insulated sleeping bag. I have another sleeping bag. So that's two sleeping bags I'm getting rid of. I'm getting rid of a bike jersey. I've got a raincoat here, and all these items I'm showing you are what I just at the beginning of last year, from January to, I believe, March, I bicycled in South America. You can watch that video. Another rain jacket I'm getting rid of. Another pair of rain pants. The bag that holds all that gear, it usually sits on the top of my rack here. A heavier weight backpack that I use for town. I'll show you the backpack that I'm using this time. This is fairly lightweight, but the one I'm taking is a lot lighter. Gloves. I also use bar mitts. I don't have them with me at the moment. A net to carry extra gear. A strap to hold down extra gear. Another strap that held that yellow bag that I showed you guys earlier. Extra pair of socks. An extra camera battery. I'm not going to take a headlamp. I always just find myself using my phone. Here is another bag that held gear. And a water purifier. So I won't take a water purifier, so I'll have to find liquids there. Alright, so on to this trip. So that's what I'm losing if you watch my other videos. So on this trip, one of the things I've changed up on the bicycle is I've actually cut some of the drop bars off on both sides. I don't really use the drop bars like a professional, but when I'm packing the bike inside a bicycle box, I always find these making it tougher to get inside the cardboard box when I'm shipping it on the plane. So I thought, hey, I could cut that off a little bit and actually get my mirrors a little bit more further in front of me. On this bicycle, I ride with mirrors on both sides. I really like mirrors. I used to just ride with one, but I would always find myself the bike, me crashing, the bike dropping, always end up breaking one, and it is a little difficult to find mirrors. And I really, I'm just so used to them now, so now I even carry two. I carry one lock. And you can watch a video. I show you how I store all this gear if that's something you're interested in. But this video, I'm just going to kind of tell you the gear for my bicycle trip across Canada. So just one lock. I have a bike pump and then two water bottles. They're 980 milliliters. That's kind of the largest water bottles I could find that I liked. I usually carry Camelback, but I've just been going away from Camelback, so I've just tried some generic water bottles that are a little bit larger. Here's my bike helmet. Alright, as far as clothing on this one, this is something a lot of people don't have, but I always carry. It's two handkerchiefs. So all my clothes are going to go into a waterproof bag. I'll be wearing, just on this video I'll throw it in, I have one bike shirt. So the shirt I'm wearing right now, it's really what I call my town wear. It's what I wear on the airplane, and at night if I'm in a town somewhere or after I shower or something like that, I'll try to keep it clean. So that's my second shirt. It's also doubles up. It's got some pockets like a bike shirt. I'll wear two bike shorts for the first 2 weeks, if not longer. So I like to wear 2 shorts and I like to have a backup. And then I'll have 1 pair of socks. Okay? Usually on a trip I carry 2. This time I only carry 1. So that is all my clothes that I have. So we'll go into rain gear now. I guess I'll shift it over here. So this is my favorite. It's Compass 360. I use their rain gear for all my adventures. I bicycled across Europe, Australia, United States, all the way down to Santiago, Chile. This is the heaviest rain gear they have. It's heaviest as far as weight, but I love its next to skin feel. I don't have to have any clothes on, and I can wear this as soon as I get out of the shower. It's a little heavy for me, but if I do get cold, it is like a second sleeping bag. I'll show you my sleeping bag. It's quite thin, so this will be the best insulation rain gear that I enjoy. It's not clammy like Gore-Tex or anything like that. It's from Compass 360, and it's great next to your skin. So I have pants and a jacket. I always take a visor now, ever since I was bicycling in Mexico and got burned one time. So a visor to keep the sun off. I always carry my trusty vest that I wear coming into major towns. I'll talk to you about in other videos, that kind of thing. Alright, my sleeping gear. This is my sleeping bag. It's kind of an emergency sleeping bag, but it's similar to the feel of that Compass 360 gear. It's nice against your skin. It's like a bivy sack without bug netting on it. And it goes to 45. It's actually made to go closer to freezing, but I wouldn't trust it on something like that. But for Canada, I think I should be above 50 for most nights. My inflatable sleeping pad. This is my tarp, bug netting, tent, all that good stuff. I store the poles on the other side of this water bottle. These are the stakes here. I've taken this all over the world, New Zealand, all those good places when I go backpacking. And one more thing to keep at night, I don't think I'll ever need it, but to keep my head warm in case I do get cold, because I don't have those extra 2 sleeping bags. I got a beanie. So that is pretty much it for food, for clothing. Sorry about that. So a lot of people I use platform pedals. I have used clips before, but this time I'm trying a shoe out that's kind of a water shoe, so it has lots of holes in it, so it drains quickly. And I'm trying to get away from socks. When I hike from Mexico to Canada, I try to hike in sandals, but I got a huge blister within the first 70 miles. So that's why I have the socks. I'd rather not have socks for a summer trip, because the reason I try to get away from socks is the smell becomes outrageous, and no matter how many times you wash them, that smell doesn't leave those socks. So my goal has always been to get rid of socks. I've never found a way, but shoes are improving as far as water shoes are going. So this is kind of a running shoe. It's made out of foam. So I'll try these out, but again, I think Canada's developed enough. If these shoes don't work out for me, I can always find another running shoe. But I always use running shoes. That's just what I prefer, because I'm always jumping off the bike, sightseeing, run into gas stations, grocery stores, and I don't want to unclip. Also, I'm not carrying, I didn't show you at the beginning, but I'm not carrying sandals. I usually carry some kind of sandals, flip-flops, for showering at the end of the day. So I'm going to make this shoe my only footwear. So that's the first time for this, not carrying a flip-flop or sandal. As far as electronic gear, so I just have another waterproof bag. I have a battery. Then I have the cord that charges my phone. Wall adapter, USB. It has dual ports on it. So then I have a small Bluetooth, just an earpiece. I like these. This version I have right now, it's quite big. It really does stick out of your ear. But it's supposed to last 8 to 10 hours. The smaller ones that are, better fitting, they only last 3 to 5. So I'm trying this one out. Should do 8 to 10. This is the charger for it. This white one goes to the GoPro. It's an old GoPro that I still have. And then I have camera charger. And then another GoPro battery. the camera charger and an additional battery. So that's it for the electronics. Here's a camera that I'm taking. I just take a point and shoot in just my back pocket so I can shoot while I'm on the bicycle. I also take for my sunglasses when I'm not wearing them. I take a little sleeve. Okay, so we're almost done here. Hygiene. A lot of people are always confused about my hygiene. I've talked about it in other videos, so I'll go through it again just so you guys can see how little or how much I take. So I talked about this. I carry a razor. In this bag there's a charger for it. So this is how I get my hair cut, shave my face. This saves me money. It's a little bit of weight, but over the money I'm going to spend, it doesn't take too long to buy it. I have toilet paper. I have a bar, not soap, soap in here. So usually I don't start with this. Usually I find this along the way, you know, staying at a hotel or somewhere. But I just refill it in bathrooms, stuff like that, and just use soap. I don't carry any more than this. Inside this clear bag, it's fingernail clippers, tweezers, and a small pair of scissors. And then toothbrush, toothpaste. That is it. That's all I carry for my hygiene. So it's soap, scissors, fingernail clippers, tweezers, a shaver, and toilet paper. That's it. That's all my hygiene. So, and then we'll get two other things. My phone. That's my navigation system. I carry credit cards just in a rubber band, and then I have my passport. This time I'm going to carry just a small backpack. I was actually trying to get away from carrying a backpack, but this one's, I don't know, maybe 2 ounces, if that. It is weight to me, so I do think about it. I try to get rid of it, but just for convenience of undoing my my panniers, my saddlebags over here. This is an Arkle brand that I sewed on some netting so I can carry off. I don't know if you can see that video, so I can expand these out if I need to carry extra food. I don't have anything on the top bar this time. Usually I carry my tent, my tarp up there, but my tarp and all will fit in these two panniers here. And then the one luxury item I'm carrying, I never use it, but I always take it. If I ever have to leave my bike behind and carry my two panniers, this is just a shoulder strap that I can hook both of them together and carry my panniers with me if I ever wanted to leave the bike behind, the panniers. So back to the bicycle, 2 mirrors, 1 lock, my phone's up here. Also, I've never talked about my dynamo. I got the wheel built from Peter White Cycles before I went down to South America on the last trip. I thought I would use it more than ended up using it. So if I were to cross Mexico, if I were to go back again, I don't know that I would need it. I do feel when I go south to Santiago, it may be more useful to me. But from Europe, Australia, United States, all the way down to Santiago, I don't know that a dynamo is really required. So on the last trip, there were a lot of mountains too, so you have to go like above 7 miles an hour. So you know that's when I feel like I needed it, because there was a couple long climbs, and I was out for a couple days without power. So, but I do have a dynamo on this bike. It just converted to USB, and I think that's pretty much it. I've just, like I said before, I've clipped these some to make it easier for packing. And also, I do ride on platforms. One other thing I do, I wear that vest. I also have this that goes on the back of the saddlebag. Also, people always ask me what gear I have for the bicycle. So I usually don't carry oil, but I figure it's summertime. It's going to rain a little bit, so I'm going to carry. This is 2 ounces of oil. I think it's too much, but it's the smallest I can find at the bike store. And then in this saddlebag here, I have 3 tubes this time. Usually I carry 2, but on the last trip when I was in South America, I was carrying 4, so I'm kind of nervous about it. I'm going to have new tires on it. Canada should be well-paved roads. It shouldn't be a deal. I have 5 patches, 2 small things of glue. I think I only need 1, but I always carry 2 because sometimes those tubes split, and then that glue dries up by the time you need it. So for some reason, I'm lazy and always carry it back up. I have 2 tire levers, and then that is pretty much it. And there's a small toolkit that has a Phillips head, flat head, just those small bike tools. But that's it for this ride. Again, I have 30 to 40 days across Canada. Not sure I can do it. I'll try to post videos this time. I'm on Instagram, Facebook if you want to see some of the last trips. But let me know if you have any questions. If you'd like me to go in detail more in the future about some of the things I use, how I did it. Some of the things I don't carry a stove. I talked about that in a prior video if you want to know some of the reasons behind it. There's some things that other people carry that I really haven't carried or never carried. So if you'd like to watch those other videos about the gear. But this one's about me trying to bicycle across Canada when I leave tomorrow. Alright, thanks guys.